a message for all Lightworkers, starseeds, chosen ones, rainbow warriors, indigo children, etc., etc. All the weird names that we have kept for ourselves. So, yeah, actually, I want to start this video by telling you something. I guess 4 5 months ago, I was actually trying to, post a message on my Instagram channel. You can also follow my Instagram channel, the same crackhead. I'll link the link in the description box. And yeah, so yeah, I was actually trying to post something, on Instagram, uh, regarding Lightworker, and I actually got scolded by my spirit guides, by my, you know, yeah, I actually got scolded and rebuked, that I shouldn't have, though of course I didn't post it. I didn't post it because my own intuition was telling me like something's extremely wrong here, like something's not right. My own intuition was telling me, and then of course my intuition got confirmed by spirit guides, like really scolded me, like, what are you trying to do? So yeah. So yeah, so I didn't posted it, but uh, yeah. So I want to really start this message by telling you that light workers, star seeds, rainbow warriors, blah 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 blah, are just labels, and we don't have to identify with them, right? Because real spiritual journey is about dissolution of your identity. How if you look around in the world, agar aap अच्छे से, if you see the world, you would find that you know the whole problem occurred when we started to identify ourselves as some religion. I'm a Christian man, or I am a Hindu lady, or I am Muslim man, or I'm a Muslim lady. Or when we really try to identify ourselves with something, I belong to this family, I belong to this caste, I belong to this creed, I belong to this throne, I belong to this social position. And that's where, when we took some rigid forms, that's exactly when, you know because ego is like that. Ego wants you to give yourself some identity. Okay, because that's how that emptiness can be filled. you know but what my guru says that if you don't know the truth, don't try to fill it up with something false. Just let it be. Just stay in the thing that you don't know what's the truth, rather than filling yourself with identity that your parents gave, or that your religion gave, or that your community gave you, that your nation gave you. you know that's exactly the whole problem starts to happen when we get identified. Some get identified with their own chair, the chair they sit. The chair is a symbol of that social position, and that's when the problem starts to happen. When some people get identified with their family relationships so much that they compromise on their soul, they compromise doing the right thing. So that's what an ego is. Ego likes to take in labels, tries to make in more identity. But spiritual journey is more of like unlearning, washing away of everything that you have learned, and staying in the dissolution, staying in the present moment. And that's how it is. Yeah, I love Hindu mythology, and as a spiritual seeker, I find it very interesting, and I learn a lot from it. So in Hindu mythology also, there, and in even Greek mythology, you will find that there are certain gods, and there are gods also, gods going and raping human ladies out there. They're doing that. Even in Hindu mythology, we had Ravana. So Ravana abducted Sita. Ravana was a wise man, and he was the greatest devotee of Shiva, and yet what he did was he went and abducted Sita. and then he got killed. Even he was the greatest devotee of Shiva. So Shiva is the like highest god, like the creator god, according to Hindu mythologies. So, and Hindu mythologies and even Greek mythologies have always focused on a different, you know, different gods. That there are different levels of consciousness. There are different gods out there, right? So yeah, that's the whole point, that we cannot take in the labels. Let's just not use it to identify ourselves with, because that's where exactly our ego tries to get in. And my ego was trying to get in those 4 5 months ago when I was trying to type in a message about light workers. So yeah, we don't have to really use it as a label. But then why this video has this title? There is this I've put this title, that a message for light workers, star seeds, everything. So why I put this title is just to address you. It's just to address these weird people. We've felt weird since the beginning. We felt that weirdness since the beginning. Like there's something extremely wrong with everything, or we don't get it, right? Like we're born into some inverted or parallel reality. It just feels like that. I mean, of course, it started with there's something wrong, and as you grew up, as you mature, and as of course you covered your spiritual journey, you realize it's completely opposite to what it is. And then of course I heard many of you, saying on internet. I've learned a lot from you all guys, on internet, and many of you, you also confirmed that for me, that yes, we live in some inverted reality. It feels like completely opposite to what it is supposed to be, to what is the truth. So yeah. So where was I? Yeah, I'm using these terms to address you, and how how we are coming up with different words. We are really extending our dictionary, as spiritual awakening process is getting stronger and stronger. We are coming up with more words, 3D, 5D. These are the words that were never used. So we are coming with many new words that are coming up: 3D, 5D, evolution, ascension. I mean, of course, they were used before, but now it's being used in a completely new sense, and it's so beautiful. The kind of dictionary that we are coming up with, because we need words to define our inner experiences. What's really happening within ourselves. We need words, and many of the words that that have been long forgotten, those are coming back. So that we can really speak up our internal experiences. We can, because these words had been lost. The spirituality had been lost. Religion, and religion, artificial religion, had taken over. So yeah, and now there is there is awakening really happening. Awakening, spiritual awakening, these are the words that are really coming up. And they're being used in a completely new sense. And it's so great that these new terms are coming up. So light workers, star seeds, um rainbow warriors, whatever. I'm just using these words to address you. Address these people who have felt alien, who have felt that there is something completely wrong with the world, and who have gone through their spiritual awakening. So that's it. We are the people who have longed for home, because home is why we say we long for home, because home is exactly the place where we don't use a mask. We feel ourselves. We can be ourselves. Just be ourselves. You can't go to an office place and dance yourself off. You will wait for home. You'll wait to come to home and dance in the kitchen. You dance in the kitchen, you dance in the bathroom. Like, it's all yours, right? You feel that sense of freedom. You feel that sense of being home. So that's why we all feel a longing for home, because we can't be ourselves. Because this matrix has programmed us not to be ourselves, just to, I think they really planned on making artificial intelligence. That was us. I think they really wanted human beings to become some artificial something, because they really were doing, they really were doing something like that. I really feel it. So, yeah, they are making us something artificial that we are not, right? So, yeah, that's why we feel a longing for home. And to some extent, every human being has felt a longing for home. Okay, every human being has felt alien on this planet. Like there's something completely wrong with our society. There are so many rules and regulations, that we are just doing it because it is supposed to be, because everyone is doing it, but it doesn't make any sense, right? So, yeah, many people feel that way, right? Where was I? Just forgot, got distracted. I forgot and got distracted. I distracted and I got forgot. Just give me a second. Let me remember what I was trying to say. Yeah, we are completely, we feel, yeah, like we feel so artificial. We feel a longing for home, and that's why I try to address these. Yeah, every human being. Yeah, every human being on this earth feels a little bit alien, feels a longing for home, feels that something is not right. But light workers, starseeds, or whatever you want to call yourself, all those weird names, you know, they are the ones who have they are the ones who have awakened first. They are the ones who have, started to talk about it first. They are the ones who have started to, talk about it first. They are the ones who started to realize that very, little quickly than their surrounding people, and of course, the whole aim of this spiritual awakening that's happening is that it needs to happen to the whole planet. That's the whole thing, that this needs to happen to the whole planet. But of course, we are all very free to choose, and everybody will choose for themselves, but what we need to do is, we are doing our work. We have come out of it, we are coming out of it, we are still walking a spiritual journey, we are still on that path. We have gone through major awakenings, we are still going through all those awakenings, and all of these things are happening and will keep happening, and yeah, that's the whole point, that uh, I got distracted again. I got distracted again. Just a second. Where was I? Uh, where where was I? Yeah, everybody has to choose it themselves, right? Every person has to choose it for themselves. We are not. We will keep doing our work. We have been walking a spiritual journey. We have been feeling that awakening. We have been doing the work. And we are still walking our journey. We're still walking a path. And who will join us? And it's not something. It's not something, a movement or a revolution. It's people need to join us. We all need to come on streets. No, this time it's very much internal, very internal. Somehow they all have to go through their own karmas. Everyone has to go through their own introspection, and they can choose the sides. Everyone is free to choose their sides. We have also gone through those choices, while we were doing our journey, while we were going our paths. I was told by many people that I was told by many people, for I've been judged, and people had opinions to give me while I was walking my spiritual journey. They thought that it was very boring. They thought that it was stupid to do it in this age, because I am supposed to do it after I turn 60. All these matrix programming that is put into the head of these human beings. It has all been given to us. We have been really programmed to think like that you need to do, in India especially. you know the spiritual journey really begins when you retire. No, it's not like that. Have you seen any person becoming enlightened after 60? Like, I'm not completely, you know, disregarding the possibility, but it gets little difficult, isn't it? It gets easier when you're young, because you have your own mind and you can use your very much at the peak of your energy, especially at a teenage, like teenage age is a very very beautiful age, for there you start to channelize for things, and yeah, this is we've been programmed like that. So I have also been judged and made opinions of, and still till now, you will find the people around me would judge me and make opinions. And of course I also had a lot of choices to make on my journey. I made the choices that I make for myself, for my God inside me. I made the choices that my God wanted to make me, and I paid heed to nothing else. I never paid heed to society. I mean, it's not completely like I was always victorious. Of course, it just took a whole lot of time, and sometimes I did took the wrong decisions, and then I have to take the right decisions. It's not always a perfect, very glorious journey. But yeah, I we all have to make our own choices. We all have to go through our own karmas, right? So people around us, they also have to make choices for themselves. They also have to make choices for themselves, for the gods, that they want to evolve, they want to stay, any which way. I have seen stagnation is so painful, is so painful. I had been stagnant for many years of my life, and it's the most painful thing I ever known. When you're in the gutter now, you don't realize that's the gutter. Only when you move out of it is when you realize, oh, I was in the gutter and now it's like clean water. Only when you get in the clean water, you realize that was the gutter. So that happened with me. I was very much unconsciously suffering when I was stagnant for many years of my life. While growing up, I felt very stagnant, but I was unconsciously suffering, and I didn't have anything outside of me, external of me, to, make an excuse for why I was suffering. I was really, really suffering, but I had everything settled down in my external, everything was good. So I didn't have an excuse, but inside I was suffering. So, of course, there is a difference between external reality and internal reality, but we've been programmed, completely programmed. Human beings have been completely programmed and, put into their mind that their external decides their internal, And not only that, we have been programmed to artificially show each other how happy we are. You know, you can't be yourselves. You cannot show fear on your faces. You have to look very confident. You cannot look grief. Everybody would think you have a bad life, sad life. So what? It's life. Life has, how can you, I mean, of course, life is about, you're not always going to be happy, and thank God we're not always going to be happy. We're going to have grief, and pain, because pain and grief, they really helped me to evolve out of. I started asking questions, and the whole reality crumbled, the whole matrix crumbled, in front of my eyes, around me. I really came out of that, when pain really happened to me, grief really happened to me, so they, pain, grief has its own part to play. Every coin has its two sides, and both, we need both the sides, right? So, and the both are helpful only ultimately. But no, we are, we are being programmed that you also always have to show the happy side of you. And nowadays they have started to trend also this mental health thing and everything. So some people are, they don't know a thing about it, and th- I think they are many of them are just doing it because uh, I don't know, like it's a trend or something, but they're really not getting vulnerable. They're really not telling the whole truth. They're just saying that, oh, we had a mental health stuff and everything. I'm not saying all of them, not saying that, but it's people will start to do it only when it's a trend. No, just say the truth, say your own truth. That's exactly what I meant to say here. Yeah. So yeah, I hope I made my point clear that I am really just trying to address these people. These are the people who are a little spiritually mature, and who have started to awaken, and have sense, a longing for a home. And we had our own journeys. We I also had gone through, I also thought that I need to change the external world. And of course the energies of the planet shifted for me, last year somehow. And I really had to go through some hard lessons to understand that no, I cannot change the external. I can just change myself, and I can be myself. And others will have to decide. Others cannot hold power over me. I only hold power over myself. And I had to understand those things. So yeah, actually the energy is really really shifted for all of us. Last year, really big change, big change. And of course it continues. Of course it continues. And yeah, I'm just so excited, and I'm just so happy for what is going to come. And I see birth. I see a new birth. I see birth of new earth. And yeah, and I'm just so happy for it. you know and I just hope that everyone chooses. Um but let's just leave it to them. Let's just leave their karma to them. So yeah, that's really what I really wanted to cover here. That yeah, 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 I think I made all my points. I just really wanted to talk around, you know this label of light workers, star seeds, and everything. I really wanted to talk around this label. I think it's just that we are the ones who started to awaken, more quickly and more speedily, you know than people around us. And it's time for others to make their own choices. We cannot force it onto them. And though we can see it and we can feel so sorry for it, we can really feel so sorry. But it has been a really hard lesson for me to understand that some people really like to hold on to their misery. you know and I have also done that in the past. I have also had my lessons. So everyone goes through their own lessons. So yeah, I just really wanted to talk around these labels that we take up so easily. you know you know and since there are a whole lot of people who are really hallucinating and thinking that they are something or something like this. And um of course there are a whole lot of truths to light workers, star seeds. There are more other truths too as well, you know that I am not trying to discuss here in this video, but because I really wanted to keep it. Yeah, there are other truths too as well. To Hey, just also wanted to add up something here. I read a post somewhere which said that chosen ones choose themselves, and they keep choosing themselves. And that's exactly how it is. That's exactly how it works. You choose your spiritual journey, you choose your soul over anything else. You keep choosing your spiritual work, you keep choosing your dharma over anything else. And that's exactly what manifests. And of course it doesn't manifest like, it takes time, to manifest in 3D. It takes time to manifest in the physical self. But you know but when you do it, you keep choosing yourself, right? You keep choosing yourself for doing the work, for doing the inner work, for doing the spiritual work. And you choose yourself and you keep choosing yourself. So yeah, and I thought it was beautiful. It was very beautiful, a post, that I came across. And I felt like, yeah, I think I should end my video with that. The post that I read somewhere, and I'm sorry that I don't remember the credits to give to who that post was, from which page or whatever. I'm really sorry, I don't remember. So yeah, so yeah, just want to end up with that. And of course, there are other little more truths to light workers, star seeds, but I think that doesn't really matter much, you know. And I think the time hasn't arrived yet, for them to be discussed. I really wanted to keep it very simple. And yeah, that's why I choose to talk about this label, light workers, star seeds, or whatever. So, yeah, yes. So, yeah, here I end my video finally.